back at the 2300 Arena. Mark Adams, I'm now joined by Amir Hardcore Mansour as we see Fred Jenkins Jr. walk in the ring for our second bout of the evening. 9-1, 3 knockouts out of Philadelphia. He'll be taking on Jeff Lentz, and we'll get more into the theatrics of yesterday's weigh-in. Well, I am joined by Amir Hardcore Mansour. Amir, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? Just happy to be here for Tuesday night fights, man. Friday night fights, man. Once again, it's a packed house. You know, a lot of people here come out to support the local fighters. It's just a great thing going on tonight.
We see Fred Jenkins Jr. in the ring. He's going to take on Jeff Lentz. Jeff Lentz, who I consider like he's just a real rough kid, real rough customer, and he's actually proud of that. He's a fighter. He's an MMA fighter. We'll get more into his MMA exploits. He's fought a lot. We've seen him a lot both in the cage and in the ring. And yesterday, both guys were a little overweight. Lentz was only half a pound. Jenkins was 2 pounds over. Lentz was insistent on Jenkins losing the weight and called each other a couple names, which we can't repeat on the air here. Let's see if that transpires into a rough, hard fight. And we will get this fight started. Let's throw up the ring announcer, Steve Mittman.
Ladies and gentlemen, get set for 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division. The man in charge of the action when the bell rings, referee Gary Rosado. Introducing to my left, he's in the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with a record of 9 wins, only 1 loss, 3 wins by way of knockout. His weight, 155.5 pounds. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, please welcome Fred Jenkins. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing the all-black trunks. His weight, 155 pounds even. He's undefeated with 4 wins, 1 win by way of knockout. From Mays Landing, New Jersey, here is Jeff Lentz.
Specific detailed instructions, but I got to tell you 2 things. Protect yourselves at all times, and most importantly, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell. All right.
Second bout of the evening. Jeff Lentz in the black, Fred Jenkins in the red, Mark Abrams ringside with Amir Hardcore Mansour. Amir, you know Fred Jenkins, his father, you've known him a long time. What can we expect from him?
Well, you're definitely going to see Fred Jenkins Jr., you know, do his thing. He's a very hard worker in the gym. Don't know too much about Mr. Lentz, but I expect a good fight from both guys. Bad blood at the weigh-in.
Yeah, yesterday Lentz was insistent. He said, Jenkins, you're a professional. You're in your 11th fight. You better make weight. And he came back. He made the weight. About an hour later, 45 minutes later. Jenkins coming off a 6-round unanimous decision over James Robinson on December 13th. Lentz scored a 6-round unanimous decision on July 12th over Tim Witherspoon Jr. So he's actually trying to pull the daily double on the juniors here. Lentz is 10-4-1 as an MMA fighter. And Jenkins said that's pretty much all he knows about Lentz. Lentz a little awkward, right to the body from Jenkins. Jenkins told me before the fight, I guess he was riled up. He said, this kid's an MMA fighter. He's stepping into my business now.
Yeah, it's not too typical for an MMA fighter to make that transition into boxing. But sometimes, you know, us boxers try to do the MMA thing, and sometimes they come in our territory. It'd be an exciting thing to see how this guy makes that transition.
Well, Lentz is 4-0 as a professional boxer. You don't see that a lot. A lot of the MMA fighters struggle, at least early in their boxing career, when they do transition.
Well, you know, some of them are pretty good boxers, though. You know, like Eddie Alvarez, he used to train with us at Johan's gym, and he was a superb boxer. You know, he sparred, you know, just about all the top, you know, middleweights in Philadelphia, and he always fared very good against him. He's a very good boxer, you know. He would be one of the guys that I would like to see make that transition as well. But you know, sometimes these guys go where the best opportunity is at, and Lentz obviously feels that the best opportunity for him to make an impact on fighting is to go get into boxing. And right now we're seeing, you know, just how good he is and how much he's able to make that transition and cope and then make certain adjustments in that ring, you know.
He landed a few punches there.
Yeah, I'd like to see both guys get a bit more busier, you know, but Jenkins, you know, he comes from a great boxing family. His father is obviously a trainer of Brian Jenkins, getting ready to fight for the world title. So his father is an excellent trainer. He used to also train my trainer, Calvin Davis. And I do know that Calvin has been consulting with Fred Jr., you know, he contacted Calvin and said he wanted to, you know, Calvin to be a part of his corner, man. So I really don't know how to judge that round right there. Well, both guys were pretty much taking their time.
Freddie landed a nice little left hook right before the end of the round.
You got to counter him on the move, you understand? That's
don't let him
find his mark right over the top.
All right? You got to touch him. Keep him offensive. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Take a deep breath.
Listen, our body's soft.
Listen, you're going to have to show him who's the boss, and you're going to have to rough him up a little bit.
That's
right?
it.
Right now, he's coasting because you're not doing anything. You got to touch him, hit him hard.
Yes, sir. Jeff, once you counter, you got to
impose your will.
On this.
Yes,
one
sir.
shot here, one shot there.
Yes,
Go
sir.
to work, man.
Yes, sir. Listen,
Okay.
once you counter him, you got to move, get your hand back.
You got to
up.
impose your will on him, baby.
Yes, sir. He's looking for that hook to come over the top on you. You understand? So stay guarded. Stay guarded. Yes, sir. Don't forget where you are.
You know, often I like to look at each guy's corner and what type of instructions they're receiving when they go back to their corners. And looks like Lentz got pretty good instruction from his corner, and you know, it's a no-brainer when you want to figure out what type of information that Jenkins received from his father. You know, his father has trained many world champions, you know, so this is, you know, this is playground for this guy, you know. He grew up in boxing, so let's see how he makes, you know, some adjustments, and really I'd like to see him pick up his pace.
Both guys look like they're starting to pick it up a little bit as we start round two. They're moving a little bit more, not just looking at each other. Jenkins, who had a very good amateur career of 50 fights, he won a bunch of tournaments, where Lentz had no boxing fights. I mean, big advantage there maybe for Jenkins. But sometimes with a guy like Lentz, he doesn't know no better. So
exactly.
And he lands a little right hook with Jenkins coming in. And misses a right uppercut.
Jenkins going to really have to get behind his jab and just really start working, man. I mean, you know, you have, you know, quite a few fights already. 6-round fight. You got to put, you know, you got to step on the gas and go ahead and take it to this guy. But I will say, hey, Lentz is doing pretty good so far in making that transition from the MMA to you know, professional boxing. He's doing pretty good so far. He's holding his own.
Yeah, he told me he actually started boxing. He went to, like most guys, they go to a boxing gym to work on their stand-up for their MMA.
Right.
And he was just, someone called, we need a fight at your weight. And 2 weeks later, he was starting his professional boxing career and did it with a first-round knockout over David Navarro.
Wow. I actually received a call one time to fight in a UFC fight, or it may have been Bellator, but Eddie Alvarez is the one that gave me the call. But I wasn't no fool. I said, I'm not doing that, man. These MMA guys, they're real tough, you know, so. He's doing good so far. You know, he obviously has heart and charisma and courage to get up in here and do what he's doing so far.
Well, he just landed 3 pretty good right hands. And a little right hook inside. He's switching from side to side. He's kind of an awkward guy, which works in his favor, and he throws punches from all kinds of angles. He said right now he's starting to really get comfortable boxing, is Jeff Lentz. He lands a nice little combination on the inside and a left. Uppercut. Jenkins tries to land it right to the body.
Yeah, Jenkins, you know, he's really going to, I want to see him pick up his pace, you know? And a lot of times when a guy comes in overweight, it makes you wonder what he was doing, you know, during his training camp in preparation for the fight.
Pace picked up at the end of round 2, scheduled for 6. See some of the action here. Lentz countering nice and then following up with a combination.
Yeah, I mean, Lentz is holding his own in there, man. You know, he came to win tonight. You know, a lot of times, I'm telling you, sometimes, you know, you think it's a mismatch or you think, you know, the guy's not going to do too good. But when a man steps into this ring, he comes to win, you know. I've really never met a fighter who absolutely had every intention on falling down. Sometimes you see it, so I can't say I've never seen it. But I've never met, you know, any of them, you know, individually. And tonight, Lentz came to fight, man, and I think so far he's doing good.
And you see underneath the right eye of Fred Jenkins Jr., got a little mouse under there.
A little bruising. But sometimes that's what it takes to make you, you know, get on your game plan.
Good right from distance from Lentz. Jab from Jenkins. Lentz now orthodox. Again, the guy's switching up.
Switching up, versatile, you know. And like I said, man, this guy coming from MMA, you know, he definitely has heart and courage, man. And a lot of times that's what you need. And he has some spunk with him, you know. He's in there, he's trying to win this fight. And if Jenkins does not pick up his pace and start working, this is going to look like a loss to him tonight. If he doesn't make some adjustments and pick up his pace, I don't think he's going to win this fight because Lentz is clearly outworking him.
He lands a nice right hand there. There's Jeff Lentz. Good body shot from Lentz. The kid, you can tell, I mean, he's a quick study. He already kind of knows the ABCs of what's going on. Jab in combination, working the body. Good jab there from Lentz. Again, Lentz. This is what's winning rounds. It doesn't
exactly, you know, and exactly. He's just touching him. He's touching him, and he's winning these rounds, man. And Jenkins is really going to have to do something different. He's going to have to pick up his pace. He's going to have to start letting his hands go.
Lentz actually is coming up in weight. Lentz has fought, you know, in the mid-140s. His fight's at 155. So he lands it right over the top. Another combination. Jenkins lands a left to the body. Double jab and a good right hand from Lentz. Combination again from Lentz. Jenkins lands a left. Body shot from Jenkins.
You know, he should, you know, this guy 4-0, you know, first, you know, reaction, your first intention should be to go ahead and start working on his body early in the rounds. And you know, breaking down slowly. And Jenkins has went to the body a few times, but he's just not busy enough tonight. I don't know what's going on with this guy.
And there's a good right hand from Lentz at the end of round 3. Jeff Lentz doing more than holding his own here in Philadelphia.
You have a dead man in front of you now. He's not doing anything. Win the fight. Top man. Listen. No, man, you got to come up here too, man. I just got to say something. Listen. You got
son,
to keep touching him.
Jeff, you winning the fight,
some nice
but
shots.
you can't give it to the judges.
Yes,
Take a deep breath.
You hear me?
How you feel this round? Then do me a favor.
You're in
Show
shape,
me something.
man.
See some of the action in round 3 as Lentz kind of peppering Jenkins a little bit. Jenkins trying to fire back there. And Lentz landing some good shots. That's pretty much been the microcosm of the fight, Amir.
Yeah.
These little 3-4 pat, 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 and get out.
Hey, and that'll win you the fight when your opponent's not working.
Round 4 scheduled for 6. See if Jenkins starts the second half of this fight with a little bit more of a game plan here.
I'll tell you this much. I see that so far, I believe that Lentz is winning this fight, man, at least 2 rounds to 1, if not 3 rounds to nothing. And Jenkins is really going to have to go ahead and hit that gas pedal, man, and work. And maybe end up with a draw, you know. I don't know. I didn't really give either one that first round, you know, so who knows how the judges scored it. But I have Lentz winning definitely 2 and 3. And Jenkins going to have to hit this gas pedal, man, and make this guy earn this win. Don't just give it to him like that.
Round 4, Jeff Lentz in the black, Fred Jenkins in the red. We have a, I don't know if you would call this an upset, brewing here, but especially in this area where, like you said, the Fred Jenkins name, you know, means something in the Philadelphia fight scene.
Listen, let me tell you something. This would definitely be an upset in my book because I know Fred Jenkins Jr. is better than what we're seeing tonight. I don't know much about Lentz, you know, and I'm not the one in that ring, you know, no matter how much experience you have as a fighter, you really never know what's going on in that ring unless you're in there. And it's easy to say whatever from being on the outside looking in, but I'll tell you this much. If Fred does not step up his punch count and start working, he's not going to win this fight.
He got in a good right hand there, did Jenkins?
Yes, he has. He's
tap.
doing okay so far this round, but like I said, he's going to have to get busier, man.
There we go, Lentz again, landing a couple punches, getting out. Judges see that. They see Jenkins kind of just lunging in with these punches. He's just trying to lunge in with a right hand.
Yeah, he's going to the body. You know, that's an investment. Whenever you go to the body in boxing, that's an investment that you can cash out on in the later rounds. And, you know, I'd like to see him just keep going to this guy's body, but he got to put some pressure on him, man. He got to make this guy earn this win because right now he's just handing it to him.
Lentz missed with the first couple. He tagged him with the third shot there. Body shot from Lentz, body shot from Jenkins.
And one thing I'm noticing about Jenkins is when he's punching, he's not stepping with his punches. He's really not moving his feet, and he's missing quite often against a guy that's really not that fast on his own feet. And there you go. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, you got to work that body. But Lentz, man, listen, Lentz is a tough guy. And you know what I'm telling you. When you go against one of these MMA guys, man, and they made that transition, first and foremost, they have a point to prove that they can make that transition. And second, you have to understand, these guys are real tough guys.
Well, like I said, I think I broadcasted just about every one of Lentz's fights. And just talking to him, getting to know him a little bit over the last couple of years. He's a real tough kid. He's a tough kid, and obviously he won 2 championships in MMA. Like you said, any man who steps in a cage or in a ring, you have to respect it.
You got to respect it, man. And, you know.
Some of the action here.
And that's what I was saying by Jenkins swinging and not moving his feet. And you know, you have to move with your punches. You got to move with your punches, man. Especially if you're hitting a moving target. You can't stand still trying to hit a moving target. And once again, he steps after he punches. You got to step with that punch.
Yeah, Lentz tried to turn over a big shot there.
Good head movement by Jenkins. And that's what he should have been doing from the beginning to the end. It looks like he's coming out to apply some pressure that he hasn't been doing so far throughout this fight. But I tell you, Lentz came to fight tonight, man.
And one thing about Lentz, I think, and he lands a little left with Jenkins coming in. One thing I know about Lentz, he'll always come to fight.
He came to fight tonight.
He's one of these kids, if you say there's a fight, he'll be there. He'll be, wherever it says, he'll show up. Jenkins misses with a right. The thing about Jenkins, he's, like we said before, he's not stepping into too much tonight.
He's very lethargic tonight. Like I said, when a guy comes in overweight of a catch weight limit, and it makes you wonder what they were actually doing, you know, when it comes to training. And a lot of times, even as heavyweights, where we have no weight limit, I always pay attention to the guy's weight in contrast to his last fight.
Good left
Very
from
good solid hit by Jenkins, and this guy is hurt. But Jenkins not putting that pressure on him.
Lentz got in a little shot there, but by far Jenkins' best punch of the fight. Right to the body from Jenkins. And a good right hand. They're both trying to load up here now.
If Jenkins puts some pressure on this guy and really sit on his punches, he can stop this guy. Because he really just hurt him with that punch a few seconds ago, but he didn't capitalize on it.
And this is Lentz coming up about 10 pounds in weight as well.
And hey, that's just more credit to this guy, man. His courage and his tenacity in this ring tonight, man. He came to win.
He just missed a big right hand. Good combination there from Lentz. There comes Jenkins now trying to get Lentz on the ropes.
I wish Jenkins was applying this type of pressure on the guy from the outset of the fight, but
Lentz playing to the crowd as we end round 5.
going into round 6.
Stand up and breathe, son.
He's
Beautiful. You winning the fight, man. Go to work, man. You're a dead man.
Some of the action of round 5. Lentz landing a nice little left there.
Yeah, he recovered quite quick, you know, from getting hurt. But like I said, when Jenkins did hurt him, he didn't capitalize on it.
Here's the left.
There it go, right there. Look,
I think it was half balanced, a little balanced though. I
no,
thought.
you could tell how he was walking. He was stung by that shot.
Okay. On him, man. He's dead. Catch me with that hook. You got to put your hands right back up. When you hit me, I was right in the south. You were right.
Right. But that's all right. Do me a favor. Walk this dude down and do everything that you only got 3 minutes, Jim.
It's got to be action.
I tell you this much, I do give credit to
3 minutes,
this
please.
guy's corner. They're giving him really good information.
Let's go.
Sit down, bro.
The 6th and final round.
Like I was saying, you know, a lot of times I take a look at and see what the guy's corner is telling him each time he goes back, you know, in between rounds. And I got to give it to Lentz's trainers as well. He's getting very good information from these guys.
Hopefully they imply the same information in Jenkins' corner.
Well, you can best believe his dad's been telling him exactly what to do all night long. But, you know,
there's a good left hook from Fred Jenkins Jr. See if he can land a big shot like he did a couple fights ago right in this very ring at Jeremy Trussell on July 29th. That was in round 2 of their fight where he landed a booming shot that sent Trussell down and out. He needs one of those tonight.
Certainly does. I definitely believe he's losing this fight, and if he doesn't land a big shot, you know, I don't know how he's going to get the win.
Lentz misses with the right hook.
And I tell you one thing, Lentz is he's really good, man, to only have 4 fights. You know, he's doing a heck of a job.
And
my hat's
amateur.
off to this kid. Yeah, no amateur, you know, career. And one thing too, he's doing well is hiding his fatigue. You can tell that Jenkins is a little fatigued, but Lentz is doing a great job. But I know he's tired.
Good right hand from Lentz, and now they're trading shots in the middle of the ring. He may have stumbled Jenkins there. Combination from Lentz. Right from Jenkins. Good scrap here at the 2300 Arena. Peltz Boxing, Johan Promotions, Band Boxing.
I tell you, we've really had some great cards here at the 2300 Arena, man, for the last 6 months. They've really been putting on some very good shows, man, especially with the little amateur kids. Man, they always came out and gave us some real good fights, man. So it's a nice place to be and enjoy boxing, man. They always put very good fights together.
Always great crowds, enthusiastic, and of course, Philadelphia, I say, the most knowledgeable boxing fans out there.
One of the last of a dying breed, man. Now we have to teach the young ones coming up about this sport. We have to keep giving them exciting fights like they've been doing here, man, to make the younger population, you know, more interested in boxing, man.
As we close out this fight, we see some blood from the mouth of Fred Jenkins now. So 2 swollen eyes and blood from the mouth. Let's see if that's enough to propel Jeff Lentz to his 5th victory without a loss. He will go to the cards here at the 2300 Arena. Jeff Lentz jumping up and down. He believes he did what I just said, may have pulled out his 5th victory.
I believe he did, you know. He did a great job tonight, man. What can I say? He came to fight.
He jumps in.
He didn't do a lot of playing in there. He went to work, man, and I don't think Fred was aggressive enough to steal, you know, the majority of the rounds. I think that Lentz was the aggressor throughout the fight and obviously landed, you know, the most punches, man. So I do have Lentz winning this fight. So let's see what the judges thought.
Jumps into the arms a moment ago with trainer Vince Jackson, Atlantic City. Jeff Lentz from Mays Landing. See the look on Fred Jenkins' face.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Thank you, Coach Vincent.
Yes.
Lou Negro. Michael Castro.
They can't rob him.
They got to give it to
They can't rob him.
Well, I don't think that they can rob him because he really was the aggressor throughout the fight, landed some nice shots throughout the fight, and I believe he will win this fight.
And I think we have and are ready for this decision. So let's throw up the ring announcer, Steve Mittman.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division, here at the 2300 Arena, we go to the scorecards. Dewey LaRosa sees it 60-54. Bernard Bruni 60-54 as well. And Larry Hazard 59-55. Your winner by unanimous decision, Jeff Lentz.
There you have it. Jeff Lentz. Two shutout scorecards.
Yes, I mean, you know, hey, man, you can't expect to win a fight when you're not in this ring giving it your all and getting busy, man, and getting down to business. And tonight, you know, Fred Jenkins Jr., he just wasn't on his job tonight, man. He wasn't aggressive at all.
I call that the old tennis score, 6-0, 6-0, 5-1.
Well, I tell you this much, though, we will see Fred Jenkins Jr. again.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know what? Sometimes it takes a loss to spark a fire in a guy, to let him know, look, you know, every fight, you know, you can't underestimate anyone. And you have to come into every fight, man, prepared for war. And tonight, Lentz was prepared for war while Jenkins wasn't.
And maybe this could be the way for Fred Jenkins to go up to 160 pounds, not try to kill himself to make the weight, as we see the work and the damage that Jeff Lentz inflicted on Fred Jenkins Jr. to go to 5-0. And we'll be seeing him again soon, I'm sure, as well. We'll be back with our next bout just after this.